that could be
like one episode, like just like
Hey, welcome to Beats and Kicks. We back at it. Another month. I'm Kicks, this is Beats.
what's going on, y'all?
Another show. Let's get ready. Hope y'all ready. What's up, world? Yeah, we're back here at Beats and Kicks. So on today's episode, I'm gonna give you my top 5 websites to get your most wanted kicks. Like if you want some new jazz, J's, whatever. But my top 5 websites for sneakerheads or for anyone trying to get kicks. And the sneaker games changed. When I was younger, it was a little bit easier to get kicks and the pricing wasn't crazy like it is now. Like now everything's over 200. And the bad thing about it is it's not for me, it's for the younger kids. I'm a grown man, so I could buy the sneakers I need. But like for the kids, is the price point isn't working, man. 200 and up. That's why some of these big brands is losing money. Nike, Adidas, all of it, Reebok, New Balance, is the price points. They need to bring it back for where the youth can buy. But off that note, we're gonna give you the top 5 when I'm trying to get my selected joints. I'm gonna go from 5 down. Number 5, Adidas Confirmed. They used to be the jump off when the Yeezys was on it. I used to always go to Confirmed. Now it's all right. I've been trying to get the Jellyfish, didn't end up getting them, man. You know, those are the hardest sneakers to get right now. But Pharrell did an amazing job on them joints. And number 4 is sneakers. Nike sneakers usually don't work for a lot of people. They don't work for me all the time, but been good to me. I can't hate. Nike sneakers been good to me. Actually hit yesterday on the Doernbechers. The Air Max ones. I wanted the 14 Jordans, but I know it was limited, 10,000 pairs, I think, something crazy like that. But sneakers would be number 4. And number 3, crazy. People probably gonna think I'm crazy, but Snipes used to be Expressions out here in Boston, but Snipes took over. Usually not my best go-to, but I gotta give it to them because it's in the neighborhood, and sometimes I roll up in there and they usually have what I need, so I gotta give it up to Snipes at number 3. Number 2, this was my go-to even back in the days, man, and they're the best because you can use discounts on some of the releases and everything. It's Finish Line. They always come through for me. They've been shady a little lately. They also give you early release access if you a member. I usually get pairs before they come out with them. They're usually good. Their system's been acting up a little, but number 2 is Finish Line and JD Sports. I think JD bought them also. It's a lot of stuff going on between these businesses. And number 1 is Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's Sporting Goods, amazing. Also, they're above Finish Line because they've been taking care of me. But those are my top 5. And I'm gonna just give you this before I go. Worst one, Foot Locker. Oh my God, horrible. But Dick's Sports bought them out, so hopefully they can change that up. But Foot Locker, worst one out of all of them. Thanks. I'll see y'all in a bit. Peace. We're gonna see what we're gonna go with. Should we go with the 11s? Or the Foamposite Galaxies? I'm gonna go with the Galaxies today.
So one thing I want to talk about was just like how, you know, the whole the beat making kind of like environment changed up, where it's like, you know, when I first started, it was crazy because I feel like I hit like the exact moment that like the shift kind of from thinking about beat making as a strictly hardware MPC, SPs, whatever, to you can just get a computer and a program and start making beats. But then another thing that popped up was going from, you know, what I'm used to, or at least when I was thinking about making beats back in the day, I was thinking about you had to have vinyl. You know, there was this new thing with samples and sample packs specifically, where people were literally making whole like albums worth of compilations that you could take and sample, and you didn't have to worry about going to a record store, putting the needle down and playing and trying to figure out what you were going to sample. The difference with sample packs was they would make a joint that was like 1 minute long, and it's supposed to be like, imagine if you're listening to that record, but it's the best part of the record, that part that you would want to sample. Another thing that I wanted to kind of connect it back to what T was just talking about as far as like the top places to get kicks. If I'm thinking about the top places to get like sample packs, or at least the places that I've gone to, the old go-to for me was Drum Brokers. I used to go. I've spent so much money with Drum Brokers. Everybody knows about Splice, so I feel like all the the beat makers out there know about Splice. But then you have like Lander is another spot that I've used. The Sample Lab, definitely a dope spot. That was actually another one of my go-tos. Splice is pretty much the solid go-to right now. It's really easy. But then, like I said, if you're looking for like some things that you maybe can't find in other places, Sample Lab and the Drum Broker, definitely.
So we're gonna change it up a little today. So Beats is gonna give us his top 5 sneakers, and I'm gonna give you my top 5 producers.
So if I'm thinking about a top 5, right, it's weird for me because I'm not a sneakerhead like this. I used to be, but something happened. I don't know. I think it was just like maybe even just work, had to get dressed up, so I wasn't really wearing sneakers as much. So I kind of just, I think, changed my mindset. But if I'm gonna go off the shoe that was like the shoe for me, it's definitely the 11s. I had a few of them. The Carolina joints. I had the black and red. I had the original black and white joints. That definitely goes down as probably my favorite pair of kicks. And then I had this phase probably even before I really got into the Jordans like that, where the Dunks was a go-to. And I'm gonna be honest with you, back then it was out of affordability. This was back when I used to work at City Sports, but also going to college, and I was trying to like, stay up on having new kicks, but in an affordable way. And the Dunks, this goes back to just like how things have changed a lot. The Dunks used to be $54.
Which is crazy. And now
and this is before the discount, right?
And exactly.
So I used to get
now $54 is it's on sale or clearance. Yeah. That's what's crazy.
So I used to get the Dunks. For me, like I said, on that college student budget, with the discount, I think I was paying like $35. So I made sure I had a few different pair of Dunks that I could, switch out. Because my thing back when I was, kind of a sneakerhead, for me, it was about not so much having a lot of kicks, because I liked a lot of kicks, but I didn't want to have any pair of kicks get worn into the ground. So I had to be able to switch them up as often as possible.
Got you. Gotta have more than one pair, always.
One of my favorite Jordans was the 6s. For me, it was specifically the Olympic joints with the blue toe. And then, the 3s are definitely, this kind of was a late addition to my kind of like my top kicks. But now I would say, like, if I was to really get back into them again, I would definitely get the 3s. And then my last joint, I don't have them here, but it's a pair of New Balances that I had. I tried to find them again, can't find them. I'm gonna try to get them at some point. I'm gonna definitely get them warm up.
I was about to say, you a Nike head. I would change that excite the feds, but you ended it with a New Balance. We'll give it to you.
Change it up.
But all Nikes, okay then.
What's your you talked about your top 5 producers.
My top 5 producers. So I'm gonna go 5 down, man. So first I'm gonna start with the AT Aliens, Dungeon Family, man. And I went to school in Atlanta. We went to school in Atlanta, Clark, Atlanta. Shout out my nephew Saeed, he's out there repping, and my boy Sugar the She, he's son's out there too. So we keeping tradition out there. But Dungeon Family, man, them beats was crazy. And just all the Outkast albums, the Goody Mob albums was just crazy. The beats was bananas, and we was fresh out of Boston, Massachusetts, and Atlanta, and it was a different sound at the time, and it just still till this day. Aquemini, all those albums was bananas. AT Aliens, the cover art, all that was bananas. But Dungeon Family's number 5, but number 4, Havoc, man. Just hearing that the oven clicking, that beat was just bananas. And I remember everyone, we didn't know them at the time, they was fresh out, and we used to say, play the song with the kids with the Hennessy shirts. And Havoc and Prodigy had the Hennessy shirts running around the streets of New York. But that's number 4. Havoc is a monster. New album's crazy. And then number 3, Premier, man. Premier was just different. At the time he came, everybody was trying to get a beat from him. And with the scratches and everything, he had that signature sound. It was just crazy. Premier, till this day, an album like he said that put him. The thing is a different album for me. The Group Home album, the beats on that album are so bananas. Yeah. That Group Home album, a lot of people probably never heard it, but the beats on those joints, oh my goodness, Premier outdid himself on that. But Group Home's album, Premier, number 3 on my list. And then number 2 was Dr. Dre, man. When Dre came from the starts, I remember sneaking listening to the NWA songs at a very young age as a little kid, hearing songs I wasn't supposed to be hearing at the time. But it just, the NWA album, it just was crazy. And then when he dropped the Chronic, the Explosion, like all those beats are bananas. Until this day, people are still waiting for the Chronic 2. What is it, Chronic? What is it called? Not Chronic.
Detox.
Detox. Yeah. People still to this day is waiting for that album. But Dre, amazing. And then number 1 for me, man, was RZA, man. I remember when Wu-Tang came out. Bobby Digital, and the beats was bananas. Between the mix-up with the Kung Fu Flicks and his beats, man. I remember when I heard Fourth Chamber with Jizza and Method Man. Oh my goodness, that beat still, it was funny, like a couple years back, I heard it on the radio, man, and I felt, it took me back, and I thought it felt like a new song. It was so amazing. But the crafting back then and everything was just taken. But like I said, my top 5, RZA number 1, Dre number 2, Premier number 3, Havoc number 4, and Dungeon Family number 5, man.
You got me thinking about that Liquid Swords album.
Oh yeah, that Liquid Swords album is bananas. Welcome back, world. We're at the end of the show, man. Thank you for tuning in to Beats and Kicks. We had an amazing show today. Hopefully you stay in, tune into something new, something different, man, something amazing, man. We here bringing some new energy and something new, man. So, like I said, I'm Kicks. This is Beats. We're going to check y'all in a month.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
I love it.